You're listening to the Trade Show Insights Podcast, Season 14, Episode 1. I'm your host and exhibit marketing strategist, Marlis Arnold, bringing you tools to improve your exhibit results. On today's episode, brought to you by the Exhibit Marketers Cafe, we're talking about who you should consider having or not having as staffers in your booth. If you've ever been in charge of a booth staff team, you may have discovered that not everyone is cut out for booth duty. Now granted, there may be times when you're told who will be working the booth and you don't have any say in the decision. But whenever you do have the opportunity to influence or select who's going to represent your company on the show floor, here are some guidelines for you. First of all, here are a few people you should think twice about assigning to work the booth. Salespeople. Now, just because they're great at sales doesn't necessarily make them the right fit for the show floor. Their attention may be divided, or they may have tunnel vision and only talk to certain attendees that they deem worthy, among other things. You can read a more in-depth perspective on this in my previous post called The Challenge of Using Salespeople as Booth Staff, and we'll have a link for that in the show notes. Motor mouths are far too busy talking among each other or roaming the show floor and chatting up all the other exhibitors and distracting them from responsibilities in their own booths. When they actually do talk with an attendee, they may make them feel like a prisoner in your booth because they won't stop talking long enough to listen to what the attendee wants or even to just let them go. Wallflowers, on the other hand, are so shy, they hide behind their phone or whatever else they can find so they won't have to talk with anyone. CEOs or other executives often don't understand the nuances of a trade show and so don't know how to engage or converse with attendees in a productive manner. Note that if you simply want to have them on hand to meet and greet and not serve as official staffers, that could be an option. Panthers are aggressive staffers who attack people in the aisles that are simply walking past the booth. They fail to understand the fine art of attract rather than attack. And finally, robots. These are staffers who stand lifeless in the booth with a glazed over appearance and can only provide a canned speech to anyone who approaches them. So, who should you consider inviting to be in your booth instead? Well, how about the research and development or R&D team, because they have vast product knowledge and can answer in-depth questions about how your products work. As a bonus, they may also gain some valuable customer insights for future product enhancements. Consider customer service representatives, because they've spent time in the trenches answering all kinds of customer questions and objections. They not only know how to answer those frequently asked questions, but also how to do it with empathy and finesse. And then consider people who are good listeners, good communicators, approachable, and professional, among other things. For a more complete list of what to look for, check out our previous post and podcast, What Makes a Good Booth Staffer? Again, the link is in the show notes. Remember, you can have the most beautiful, functional booth at the show, yet still make a bad impression if your booth is poorly trained. No matter who you choose or have assigned to work the booth, it's important for them to be properly trained. Often exhibit managers think that booth staff training needs to be informing on new product introductions and who the prime targets are at the show. But that's only a small part of what they really need to know. When you select your booth staff members, make sure they're skilled in dealing with people. Lots of people. If crowds make them nervous or shy, then perhaps they're not the best choice to be in the booth. Be sure they know the basic techniques for engaging and qualifying visitors, yet don't come on too strong. Professional appearance is also important, so make sure your staff is dressed appropriately, or else provide a team uniform to present a unified message. Teach your booth staff and any other employees that are attending the show how to remain on their toes, both in and out of the booth. You never know who might be sitting next to you on the shuttle bus or standing in line at lunch. Watch how you act and what you say. That person who saw your whole team drinking wildly at the hotel bar might show up in the booth the next day only to turn around and head for your competitor that presents a more professional image. Also remember that dinner conversation between staffers about product problems could be overheard by your competition and used to their advantage. For more on the importance of exhibitor education, you can pick up a free PDF of the Exhibitor Education Manifesto. Again, link is in the show notes. And inside this 14-page document, you'll discover who needs to be educated, what should and should not be included, and when that education should take place. And if you need even more education for your team, you'll find numerous options available inside the Exhibit Marketers Cafe at exhibitmarketerscafe.com. If you enjoyed what you heard today and would like to spread the word about the Trade Show Insights podcast, please take a minute to leave a rating and/or review in iTunes. This helps to boost visibility so more people will find the show. Trade Show Insights is protected by the Creative Commons copyright license. You may feel free to share this recording with colleagues or embed it on your own blog as long as it is shared in its entirety and is not used for commercial purposes. To learn more, please see the link in the sidebar of the show notes at tradeshowinsights.com. Well, that's it for this episode of Trade Show Insights. Be sure to check out our show notes and archives at tradeshowinsights.com. You can also connect with me using the social media links or contact page on the site. I'm Marlis Arnold. Thanks for listening, and be sure to join us next time for more tools to improve your exhibit results.